I think this is really important work that you all are doing. At Elmbridge, we focus a lot around strength-based education and understanding where students' strengths, interests, and talents lie, and using that as a way to help them grow and develop and succeed academically. And so the work that you're doing and mapping that with the human brain and identifying those areas where certain competencies and strengths exist, I think helps us better understand how these students think and work. So I'm a huge fan of this work, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. I think the key is going to be working with educators to help them understand how these students think, where their strength areas lie, and how to work with them within the educational environment that addresses their learning styles. So when we talk a lot about students. One of the things earlier today, we did a session where we talked about 4 different personality types that exist within all of us. And so how do we adjust the educational experience for those students who are the practical managers, who need high organization and details and facts, versus the creative producer who just wants, tell me the big idea and let me run with it and come up with as many unique, novel solutions as possible. And so I think with the combination of the work you're doing, teacher training, and understanding who these learners are, you've got the possibility for a really strong curricular option that can expand to other countries and other educational environments. So one of my area and what I always encourage educators, no matter where they are, internationally, talent development opportunities, providing opportunities, and ties directly in with this work that you're doing, providing students at an early age those talent development opportunities that are aligned with their strengths, their talents, and interests, and building that and making that part of the educational experience as they grow and develop through the years. That's where we're going to identify those kids, because a lot of these gifted kids fall through the cracks. And I know you all focus really on gifted, but within that population, you do have your twice exceptional kids. And those are the kids that get missed a lot in gifted identification. So if we're providing them with those talent development opportunities, that's where they'll start to bubble to the surface. And you'll find that you have a whole new set of kids and possibility there. I would have to dig into the work that you've done. I think I always encourage, you've taken this from a very through a quantitative lens. My next piece would be that qualitative perspective. Talking to the students. This is one of the things I just talked about in this last session, is the importance of talking to the students and getting that match. Sometimes we focus on, this is a strength area, but a strength can be a skill. And Reese talked about this in her keynote. Strengths are skills, and sometimes strengths don't necessarily match interests. And a student can have high strengths, but it's not in an area of their interest. And so that qualitative piece, I think, would be the not missing piece, but the next natural progression of, okay, this is what we've identified in you. How do you feel about this? How do you see this fitting into your talents, your interests, and your goals? I think your goal and purpose behind the work you're doing for the betterment of Romania is your best argument, because if we don't provide our gifted students with these opportunities to tap into who they are and where their talents are, where their strengths are, where their interests are, that's where innovation begins. And if we truly want to advance as a society, this is how we've advanced for millennia. And so we have to understand, and I think a lot of times in educational systems, and we see this in the United States, we've had a hard shift to a very standards-based, teach mathematics and almost getting to a scripted environment. And that cuts creativity and potential out of the picture, the creativity of the students and the creativity of the teachers in the classroom. And so if we are going to continue to grow and develop as a society within national norms and cultures, but as a larger global society, we have to open up these opportunities for our kids to work within their strengths areas and give them opportunities to develop those talents. A lot of my work comes within the educational psychology realm. So I focus not so much on the academics, but more on the social emotional development of these kids, and understanding that they think differently, they develop differently, that asynchrony of development exists within all of our gifted kids. And so understanding that piece and giving them the space they need to grow and develop is so important. So that would be my piece of advice, not only for educators, but for families, so that they have a better understanding of who these kids are.